I love Fridays. My kids love Fridays. We eat pizza on Fridays. We've had pizza on Fridays, I would say every Friday for like the last 6 years. Uh, like on Thursdays, we okay, no pizza on Friday, no pizza on Friday. And then we always end up having pizza. So it looks like it's going to be another pizza night. Um, Yesterday, I got this comment from this, God, I forgot who it was. But they were talking about, Dolores Cannon. And I love Dolores Cannon. I've watched damn near every video that she's ever made. I've only read 2 of her books. I read The 3 Waves of Volunteers and Jesus and the Essenes. And both of those are just amazing. But she said, have you read The Custodians? And I haven't. And she said that in the Custodians, they talk about certain people that are manifesting into this plane, and their job is to reconnect one's energy field with the larger energy field of the planet. And I was just like, I love to hear this information that validates exactly what I'm doing, this process of the reconnection. Because usually when I want information about, these frequencies and what's happening, like to me, like that, this is like, I love this book. I've read this book so many times. I know that this is talking about exactly these frequencies. But man, Dolores Cannon, she has brought up so many things about these frequencies. And so I definitely, like, as soon as you sent me that comment, I forgot who you are. Thank you, because I immediately ordered The Custodians. I've been kind of taking a break from reading and researching. I don't know, I just felt like I just needed a break because, when I first discovered, channeling, I think it was like really Edgar Casey, like when I was 25 years old. And then I think it was Seth, and then Abraham, and then it just continued to, there are so many incredible channels out there. I won't list them, but, eventually if I keep doing these videos, I'll just have to talk about all of them. But I noticed that I had taken a break from searching out any new information because, after a while, I just found that it was all saying the same thing. And I don't know, so I guess with these daily videos, I'm going to be like, I guess, dipping back into the books that I read many years ago and refreshing my understanding of that. Last night, I had this really weird thing. I was sitting there and I was thinking, because I only read channeled information for years. Like, that's all I read. And, I'm kind of that type of person that I kind of overdo everything. And so I just quit reading fiction. I just quit reading all the kinds of things that I used to read and just only read channeled information. And all of this channeled information comes from these higher dimensional beings, these collective consciousnesses. And it's just weird that I just never talk about, like, extraterrestrials. I think, wait a second, I'm sorry. In my first video, literally my first video ever, I was like, okay, something's clearly going on here. I have so many of these connections with the Pleiadians, and I basically said, I've definitely spent many lives as a Pleiadian. So I guess I did bring it up, but then I just kind of quit talking about it. And I don't know why. I don't know why I don't talk about extraterrestrials, and I don't know. And then I was thinking, some of my favorite teachers or mentors or whatever you want to call them, like Sadhguru, I love that dude. Eckhart Tolle, I love that dude. I mean, there's a bunch of them, like Greg Braden, Bruce Lipton. I know all those guys understand that there's higher dimensional beings that are here helping us. But they never talk about it. And so I guess it's really practical information to make us heal in this plane and to heal us, to give us a better understanding of our world. And they never talk about that. I don't know. I started thinking, like, am I afraid to talk about that? Like, why would I be afraid to talk about that? I don't know. But obviously, if I want to make a video every day, I'm going to have to start reading my old books and refreshing to make enough videos, because, you know, that just feels like that's where this is going to be headed. But yesterday, I got this email from one of my clients/friends, and they were talking about, they have this life coach, and this life coach had given them this very regimented procedure for the next 3 weeks. And they wanted them to dig deep into their past and to uncover these hidden traumas that they believe are restricting them from fulfilling their dreams, from living their dreams. Man, I cannot emphasize enough that what a terrible idea I think that is. I just think that's terrible. And I guess one of the reasons is I think we have our understanding backwards. Like, I think that we have our thoughts, and then below that we have our emotions, and then below that we have our beliefs. And I think it's just the opposite of that. I think we have our beliefs, and then we have our emotions, and then we have our thoughts. So, you know, our thoughts are limited. It's downward. We have our beliefs, and then we have our emotions. So if you're feeling really angry, if you're feeling really stressed out, that is going to limit the thoughts that you can access. Okay, so in my opinion, if you think that you have to go back and dig deep to find your beliefs, what you really believe, why you're living the way you live, why you react the way you react, it's backwards, dude, because when you think you're going deep, you're actually lowering your frequency, and you're really locking in this autopilot, this programming that we have, this automated reaction to things. That you're enforcing that, because your beliefs, you're not going to discover what your beliefs are by lowering your frequency. You won't do that. You're only going to discover what you truly believe and how it is outlining and framing your experience of the world by raising your frequency, because your belief systems are up here. Our thoughts are the result of it streaming through your beliefs to your emotions to your thoughts. So we have it backwards. You see what I mean? Like, you have to raise your frequency to discover what your true beliefs are. And I think that's also true with finding out what your passions are. You know what I mean? You have to raise your frequency to discover that. And I mean, I don't know, man. Maybe I'm not doing a good job of describing this, but I think that we have everything backwards, and we're making things a lot more complicated than they really are. And you know, if you're wondering how you can raise your frequency, well, 3 quick things you could do. First of all, obviously, turn off the news. Turn off the news is one. The second one would be stop hanging out with low frequency people. Like, it is possible to hold your frequency high around low frequency people. But dude, you really have to know yourself. You really have to become your own sovereign being to be able to wallow in all this low frequency of people around you and to keep your frequency high. So it's very, very difficult. If you just quit watching the news, and if you quit staying around these low frequency people, your frequency will just rise. I mean, that's what it has to. And I think even Abraham talked about that. It's like, dude, you're really a cork. And if you just quit staying around these low frequency people. You'll rise, you know? I mean, that's it. And I think it's also really important, you know, I mentioned this in damn near every video, and I probably will continue to mention it because it's the most important thing in the world, is following your excitement. So those are 3 ways that you can just raise your frequency. And I'm telling you, if you really want to know what your beliefs are, if you really want to know why you're locked into this cycle of whatever you're experiencing over and over, you're not going to uncover the beliefs by digging deep into your past. You're not. You're not. If you want to discover yourself, you have to raise your frequency. So, okay, man. Short video. It's Friday. I got some sessions coming up. So, and thank you for that comment. I will be checking out the custodians, and I love to find information that validates, that comes from a different source, that validates what I'm doing with these reconnections and these frequencies and raising people's frequency. Okay, man, I love you guys, and I hope you have a fantastic weekend. And I guess I'm going to make a video tomorrow, too. Okay, man, love you guys. Peace.
Crazy up in here, got that DJ playing music everybody wants to hear, yeah. It's getting kinda crazy up in here.